Hi Aries, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your full moon reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also to subscribe to my channel. So let's dive into this reading, and this reading is going to span from full moon to full moon. So from the June full moon, which is on the 5th of June, to the July full moon, which is on the 5th of July. And what's really cool about both of these moons is that they coincide with the lunar eclipse. So we're stepping out of a supermoon time. We've had 4 supermoons in a row, which has been super intense. And now we're moving into moons that coincide with the lunar eclipse. For the full moon, the new moon coincides with a solar eclipse. So these just have a lot of energy to them, a lot of power. And you're really going to be connecting with that power. Sagittarius is ruled by the goddess of the hunt. Artemis is represented by the goddess Artemis, and this is the goddess of the hunt, the goddess of the moon. So here, again, that power just simply amplified. So let's dive into this reading. I'm going to go through everything that I have up here for you, which defines this moon for you guys. We have the tarot here. I'll be layering the Moonology and the Queen of the Moon cards on top of the tarot to really give Luna a voice of her own, the moon a voice of her own, and this is going to be what moves us forward and what empowers us. All right, so I'm going to be moving the Queen of the Moon and the Moonology cards over to the side. I'll use those at the end, layered on top of the tarot. And let's see what the tarot has to say. How will Aries be affected by the June 2020 full moon? How will Aries be affected by the June 2020 full moon? How will Aries be affected by the June 2020 full moon? Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. All right. So at the heart of everything, we have the page of Earth, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Capricorn is the full moon in July, so you have a strong pull towards that moon. You're crowned by love, by the Lover's card. This is a Gemini energy, a time frame of May 21st to June 20th. 7 of Earth, 7 of Pentacles. Page of Water, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. Cancer is the new moon. On the 21st of June is the new moon. We have the 9 of Waters, 9 of Cups. The King of Earth, the King of Pentacles. So at your heart, you are starting off as a page, and then you are evolving to a king, which is going to be very powerful for you. Then you have the Empress, which is just spectacular, really connecting you with the earth. And this is a visionary moon. This is a moon that has you seeking out your truth and, telling your truth to the world. So with the Empress, there can be a part of you that you just thought, oh, well, that's not me anymore. I've had to leave that behind. And you're going to feel yourself drawn back to it. You're going to feel yourself reclaiming your throne. As you do so, you have the 5 of Air, the 5 of Swords, the 2 of Earth, the 2 of Pentacles, and you have here transformation, which, this is a transformative moon, but this is also a Scorpio energy, a time frame of October 23rd to November 22nd. So this is a very powerful moon for you. It really has you connecting to your emotional self and connecting to what you want. And that is going to be more powerful than what others want from you. Because with this being the Sagittarius, full moon, this connects us with taking aim to our goals, to what we desire. Because I'm just going to skip ahead right here, because Sagittarius is represented by the bow and arrow. And now it's time to take aim at your goals and go after what you want, clarifying your goals, letting the arrow fly, going after what you desire. And as you do so, this is called the hot moon in the Queen of the Moon cards, but this is also the honeymoon. So there's a level of sweetness here, but there's also a level of intensity that you are embracing. So here with the hot moon, you are embracing extremes. You are looking at what you desire. There's also a strong sense of communication, because this time is ruled by the planet Mercury. So you're going to find that this month is ruled by the planet Mercury. You're going to find that you are drawn to communication. You're drawn to greater understandings of things, to wanting to work things out. And that's what this moon, this visionary moon, is all about. It's expanding your horizons. It is, looking at your boundaries and saying, it's time to step out of my comfort zone. And that's what, the full moon eclipse does. Conclusions are within reach because you are stepping out of your comfort zone. You are moving forward in your power. You will not be held back. And that's because you have here the full moon. Now, the full moon is kind of a spotlight on our last lunar cycle. And I mean, my gosh, things have been intense to say the very least. But it's also letting us see our power. It's letting us claim our power, claim our divinity, claim our greatness. And you have that connection with Artemis here. You really do, that connection with the hunt. And it's the hunt for what you want, the hunt for what you desire. And as you do this, this is the perfect time to claim your independence because you surrender to the divine. And it's like, what am I divinely looking for? What is my truth? And you're going to see that steps you onto the hero's journey, because that's, again, what this moon is all about. It's about stepping towards your hero's journey. And what is a hero before he succeeds or she succeeds or they succeed? It is simply a person who everybody considers a fool. It is the first person that people will laugh at. It's kind of like an artist. Before you are successful, or in anything, an entrepreneur, anything, before you are successful, what are you? Laughed at. Oh, you're going to fail. Oh, you have this going against you and that going against you. Okay, fine. Yes. But you still have to take that hero's journey. You still have to take that leap of faith, because you might find that you might fail at one thing, but it opens up a door to another thing. And then that's where you fly. That's where you really start taking off. And that's what I'm seeing for you here, Aries. It's like you are looking at things and you're seeing a whole new world open up to you, because you're seeing a whole new you be transformed and be empowered. And it leads you to this this new moon in Cancer, which is on the 21st of June, which coincides with the solar eclipse. And it says you and your loved ones are safe. And isn't that just like the best thing to know? You and your loved ones are safe. So that energy of safety, that energy of security, that energy of love is what flows during this moon. And it leads you to looking at the new moon as a time of beginnings, yes, but also as knowing that a new start is coming. It's like beginnings come. You walk between two worlds, a winter and a summer. So you walk between intensities during the new moon. That's really how I personally feel the new moon and how I've come to see the new moon. And so as you're walking between intensities, you are going to find that you are looking at how to start what you desire, how to restart things. You're kind of bringing that Buddhist statement of the beginner's mind into play, because you're not simply looking at things through past baggage. And if you can identify that, yeah, okay, I bring to the table a lot of my own stuff, a lot of my own nonsense, as does everybody else in this world, I'm going to be moving forward in my passion, in my truth, in what I desire. And this is my new start. And that is what this visionary moon has done for you. It has you opening up doors that weren't just locked. I mean, they were bolted. They had furniture pushed in front of them, and you weren't going to go for it. And now you're sitting there and you're saying, I want a whole new world. I want an adventure. It's kind of like Aladdin in the magic carpet ride. I want my magic carpet ride. I want to feel myself flying, to feel myself moving away from the constraints that have been all around me. And that moves you to the Capricorn full moon in July, which says here an end to a tough cycle approaches. And that's awesome, because here it's called the thunder moon. Now, in the Farmer's Almanac, just as the Sagittarius moon is called the honeymoon, this is called the stag moon. And the stag moon connects us with our royalty, right? Because stags are a symbol of royalty coming forward. And so here, an end of a tough cycle approaches with this Capricorn full moon, and it leads you towards change. And it leads you to changing your horizons, changing what you desire, really moving forward towards what you want. And what's beautiful is that the spirit animals of this time, for this visionary moon, they have you, for the full moon in Sagittarius, they have you being this force, this power, and they have you being two very conflicting people. And that's where I see the Gemini spirit coming in, because Gemini is, of course, represented by the twins. So you have this paradoxical self, right? And we are simply a paradoxical self. We're like the god Janus, all right? And that's what January is named after, the god Janus, who is the god of beginnings and endings. And so his face in Roman sculptures is one's looking backwards and one looking forwards. And that's what we are. We are always looking backwards and forwards. And here it's kind of like be in the now, have that third face come in, have that third identity come forward, be in the now. It's not the future. It's not the past. It is the now that is going to guide you and lead you. And as you're looking at all of that, you see yourself fully. And here with the June spirit animals, it's the deer and the eagle spirit. And the deer spirit, which I love the deer spirit because it says here, bring a gentle touch. And this is gentleness, but not defenselessness. This is being strong and brave when needed. But it's knowing that not every avenue during this time is going to be a battle. And it's bringing forth your natural beauty. You're going to see things much more naturally. You might even find that you like a more natural approach to things during this time. And there's a degree of innocence to the way that you're looking at things, to what you desire. There's just a purity of heart that guides you, that leads you. And it leads you to the eagle spirit, which is completely different. You know, eagles are predators, deers are not. And the eagle spirit says here, spirit has your back. Now that's important because, you know, eagles are so powerful. And this is man's connection with the divine, since eagles can fly higher than any other bird. Also, the only animal that can see better than us, are better apex, sight hunters, are birds of prey. So that's huge. So here when it says spirit has your back, it's because spirit can fly higher and see clearer than you ever can. And that's just fact, period, end of discussion. And so here with the eagle spirit, you have that clarity. You are reaching new heights. You are looking at new ways of connecting with your divinity, with the God's head that lives within you. And this gives you freedom and courage to look ahead. And this is you embracing the freedom and the courage to look ahead. And there's a value of honesty and thoughtfulness coming forward. You don't want to just go, saying things that aren't true. You really have a passion for the meaning of your words during this time. And this then leads you to the spirit animals of July. Now, I have none of the appropriate spirit animals for July in my cards. It's the woodpecker spirit and the salmon spirit. And so here, I have a couple cards doing the work. For the woodpecker spirit, which I was absolutely blown away when reading about the woodpecker spirit, because the woodpecker spirit is so tremendously brave. If you have this spirit animal around you, it is just such a remarkable sense of passion and finding the truth. It's such a powerful connection, and that's like the seed being planted over your heart. Truth is paramount for you, and it will be paramount for you from June to July, and probably as we move forward. And it's going to be amplified by the lunar eclipse, because it's going to be as if you're looking for something that isn't quite always seen, And so here with the woodpecker spirit, you are finding that truth. You're embracing that passion. You are embracing courage. Yeah. And you are looking at a creative approach to things, and you are really drawn to protecting those who are weaker than you, which is why we have the bear spirit here, because that's what the bear spirit is all about, protecting those who are weaker. And as a spirit animal, that's what bears do. And so here it says take time out. Take time out to make things more balanced, to make things more fair within your world. It's not that it doesn't matter with the rest of the world, but we're talking about you here. And you can't change the rest of the world. The only thing that we can do is kind of sculpt and mold ourselves to the way that we want things to be. And this leads us then to the hummingbird spirit because of the ferocity and the intensity and the passion of the woodpecker spirit. And this says, be here now, be in the present. Be in the present moment. Don't be drawn by the past or the future. Be in the present now, because Junus is also the god of doorways. And that's what you're seeing here. You're going to see June as a doorway month, as a month that opens things to you. And then we have the salmon spirit, which is rebirth, moving forward in happiness. And it's the eternal life. It's a very strong feminine energy, and it's living life to the fullest. And people with the spirit animal, if this is your spirit animal, the salmon, just have this love for life. And so here, the koi fish spirit, the salmon makes me think of luck. It's just a lucky spirit animal to have around you. And so the koi fish spirit, to me, represents luck. And it says here, there's always enough. And there will always be enough for you as you are moving forward. It might not be in the exact way that you're looking at things, so you might have to kind of step back, reevaluate, but there is always enough, and you will always be moving forward towards prosperity, if not always in prosperity, because I do know life sometimes has that way of kicking us in the throat with like a steel-toed boot, and you're like, what the heck is going on here? So to embrace that there is enough for us, and there is enough within us, is a powerful statement. And you're here as a student of prosperity. As you are embracing your vision, as you're embracing what you want, you're trying to balance things. And it can be a time where you're really looking at things and saying, okay, I need to balance my truth. I need to balance my prosperity. I need to balance myself. And as you are embracing this balance, you become a student of your passion, a student of your understanding, a student of the seeds that you are planting. You're going to be looking at things so much more honestly because you are starting this hero journey, which makes you feel as if you're starting off as a child. Makes you feel as if you're starting off with a vision that not everybody can understand. You progress into the king, which means that this hero's journey really does have a positive impact on you. And it moves you to be crowned by what you love. That duality of spirit, that sense of complexity within yourself. Gemini energy, May 21st to July 22nd. And then you have the Five of Air. The Five of Air is the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is you will have to face a battle that you do not want to face, or doubts and insecurities that you do not want to face. You're thinking, okay, I'm done with that. It's over. I need to move forward. And that's just going to hold me back. Or you've not really looked at it. You're like, I know I'm scarred this way, but what the heck am I going to do? That's just how my life is. With the Five of Swords, you're looking at things and you're starting to see yourself more fiercely than you had before. Meaning that with the Five of Swords, a lot of people say, okay, this is the bad sportsmanship card. It's kind of like be more sporting towards what you love. All right, cool. I see this a bit differently. It's like, claim your ground for what you love, because moving forward in your heart's truth can feel like a battle. It can. And you're going to have people who oppose you. You're going to have people who sit there and say, well, you can't do that. And what makes you think that this is even a viable career option? And where are you, heading this way? Do you not know what you have over here? And so there's this conflicting information during this time. And this is where you move out of the expectations of others and you move into the expectation for yourself. And I like the digression here of 6 to 5, the countdown. And so here, it's like you embrace what you love. And as you embrace what you love, the universe is going to throw things at you to make you sit there and say, oh, well, maybe you should go back to the way you once were. Maybe you should play it safe, or maybe you shouldn't trust yourself, or maybe you should give up on that dream. And there's a sense here of saying no. Not a sense, there's a strong power within you that says, no, I reject that reality, and I'm replacing it with my own. And I understand that there is more to me than can be imagined. And as I embrace that understanding and that truth, I embrace myself. I embrace my power, and I will not be held back. And that's very, very, very strong for you during this time, Aries. First of all, you're not a person to be held back anyway, period, end of discussion. You are represented by the Emperor. You have that force. You have that ruling power. You have the mate to the Emperor coming forward right here, the Empress. So you have the Eternal Mother when you are represented by the Eternal Father. So you're going to have the complete balance to yourself coming forward. And you can be moving forward in that balance, just in that kind of sense of feeling like you come home. If you've ever met the love of your life, it's kind of like, oh my gosh, I've come home. Or if you've read books about or watched movies where they say, oh, I met the love of my life, it felt like I was coming home. And that's what you're going to feel at times during this time frame, because this calls to you, this Empress calls to you. And as the Emperor, it makes you feel as if you've come home, as if you stand where you're supposed to be. And it fills you with love. It does. It doesn't have to mean that anybody else feels like they're coming home. It doesn't have to mean that anybody else even understands where the heck you're coming from. They might sit there and think, all right, that's special. That doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't need to make sense to them. It needs to make sense to you. And as you are embracing this love and this truth and this power, you move forward in the Nine of Waters. The Nine of Waters, the Nine of Cups. I'm quoting this all back to the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. It's love and joy and happiness. It radiates from you. You might not be able to see it. A lot of times with the Nine of Cups, I find that you can't see it yourself. Others can see it around you. Or you get glimpses of just this feeling of being contented and empowered and loved, of having what you want, of being able to drink your fill of what you need. And it moves you towards transformation. Now, this is the Death card, a dying away of the old self, a rebirth of the new. But also by embracing what you love, you face what life fears the most, right? I mean, it fears it so much that in this deck, they renamed death transformation. So here, it's like, is living your authenticity equivalent to the fear of death? And I would have to say, at times, yes, it is. Because it's opening up yourself to being more vulnerable than you could have imagined. And as you open yourself up to that vulnerability, you open yourself up to the power of you. And as you open yourself up to the power of you, this is where transformation comes in, and it comes through fire. Why? Because fire warms, but fire also burns. Fire transforms, and fire destroys. And that's the element that you're born into. You're a fire sign energy, Aries. And so this is like your thing. This is your understanding of truth, of transformation, and that it's not always going to be easy, and that a lot of the times it hurts. And so here, as you embrace your love, as you embrace your heart, you embrace yourself, you are transformed, and you might find that the fires of transformation are astoundingly intense. And that's at your roots. That's what shapes you during this time. That's what grounds you. That's what, has you moving towards something more, something greater. And it moves you into being the king of earth. Earth cannot grow without fire. That's why you might find that you get along really well with earth sign energies, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, right? Because you're the sun and they're the earth. You warm them, right? And it's kind of like your purpose, right? To have planets rotating around you. And so here with the king of earth, you are looking at your passion. You're looking at the seeds that you are planting. You are looking at what you desire. And you are moving forward within your prosperity, within yourself. And this is also a strong connection to an earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You have a strong earth sign energy presence here. And as you embrace that strength of presence, as you move forward towards your truth, you see yourself guided. You see yourself actually seeing the seeds that you are planting. And be like, oh, will that have long-term effects? How do I move forward this way? What do I want from this? Where am I going from that? And so here, it's kind of like you're starting to see the big picture within where you stand right now. And the power that what seems like minutia, which seems like just little throwaway details, has. And it's going to be strong for you, and it's going to be beautiful. But it's also intense, and it can make you feel a bit like you're living in two worlds at once, a paradoxical change. Like, two realities together. And as you move forward in this understanding, it's kind of like string theory, where they believe that you have worlds, and you can believe that or not. But it's kind of cool and a bit trippy to think of that. And so here, it's kind of like you're opening up the possibilities and the veil. What is it? Oh, I forget the book that a friend had me read. And he's like, it's really, what is it? It's transurfing, okay? Which I thought was super funny. And I started reading it, and I was like, oh, okay, I get, like, this is odd. But then it started to become really cool. And it's like you have multiple realities, and you can kind of surf your way into another reality. And it's not going to be it doesn't have to be through hard work, through, just this sense of determination. It can be because you've just changed your being. You've just evolved yourself to now live in a new reality. And that's kind of what you're doing here. And I know it sounds super odd, but that's what you're doing here. You're like, okay, I can open myself up to this new reality, to this new sense of me, to this power, and see how I move forward. Because as you do so here, you have the Page of Waters, which is a water sign energy. So you have a strong Scorpio presence right here, also a strong connection to the new moon on the 21st of June. The Page of Waters is being a student of your heart. And it's always important to be a student of our hearts. Why? Because I firmly believe that we are emotional beings. As emotional beings, we have to connect with our hearts. If we don't, we feel unfulfilled within our lives. It's like there's a hole in ourselves. And so here, with the Page of Water, you are studying, seeing, understanding, learning, embracing this new sense of you, this new power of you. And you're looking at things, and you're open to infinite possibilities. You're open to a new way of moving forward. You're opening to, kind of embracing a wider pool of self. It can be you were kind of protected before. It's kind of like in the Page of Cups in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, he holds a cup in his hand, and there's a fish in there. Now, it can be that, the fish in the salmon, spirit animal, really does give you a lot of information, really does have you connected with that fervent, beautiful, loving energy. And that opens up doors for you. But it can also be that you're starting to see, I don't want to be a goldfish in a small bowl, of spiritual truth. I'm embracing the ocean. And yes, it's going to be overwhelming, but it's going to be exactly what I need. And as you embrace the ocean or the lake, because, it'll be fresh water, you embrace what you desire. You embrace what your soul has been deprived of, because now it's starting to be fully quenched. And as you do so, you're really embracing this Scorpio energy. I just see a strong pulling towards it, walking towards it, and it has you transformed. It has you empowered. It has you, looking at things and not being as scared as you were before. You might say, I wasn't scared at all, which is totally cool. But there was something in you here, Aries, that had you held back, that had you not giving fully of yourself. Even if you thought you were, there was just a sense of exhaustion because you were hitting this wall. And it can be a wall that was inherited through your DNA. It can be a wall that was inherited through past lives. It can be a wall where there's a part of you that thinks, okay, if I go after this and I fail, what the heck? Because this is my life dream. We have all different types of walls before us. Somebody could have spoken negativity over you when you were very young, or when you were older. It could be from a partner that you had, and it was a terrible relationship, and you've never quite had your footing after that, or a parent who, just kind of always kept you off your guard, and so, well, on your guard and off balance. So here, you're finding your footing, you're finding your stepping, you are finding yourself move forward, and you move forward to your perfect mate. Now, this can be actually for some of you, Aries, it could be you finding somebody who just absolutely clicks with you. This could be a long-term relationship. This could be a short-term relationship that deeply impacts your heart, your soul, yourself. But what I'm seeing here is a sense of seeing things in a new way, of reclaiming what you once thought was, what you once saw as you, but then thought could never be you. It had to be somebody else. So here with the Empress, it's like you're reclaiming a throne you thought you lost, that was taken from you. And as you claim it, you claim your life. You claim yourself. It's like you're finding that piece of you that was pushed away within the darkness. And as you embrace the light of what you love and what you want, you embrace the power and the purpose of yourself. And as you do so, you move to the Seven of Earth, which is a steady understanding and patience with the seeds that you are planting, with the prosperity that is coming, with the way that you want to move forward. And as you see this, and as you embrace this, and as you are patient with yourself, because you're going to need to be, it moves you to balance the balancing of your life when it comes to things in your mind where you think, I can't do this. So what you're seeing is the spiritual and the practical coming together to say to your mental self when you have these doubts and when you have these fears and when your mind is like playing tricks on you and saying, but I can do this. And I am so much more than I had ever thought. Because I have won so many battles and you weren't giving yourself credit for that. And it's not saying, oh, well, I should have been nicer. I should have done this differently. I should have done that differently. It is saying, I know my power. I know my truth and I know myself. I will not be backing down. And I will be standing in the love of my life and in the joy of my existence, because this is a visionary time for me, and I am a student of my vision, because you have the repeat of the pages here. You are the student. You are, seeing things in such a new, profound way. Now let's see how Luna plays in with this. How will Aries be affected by the June 2020 full moon? How will Aries be affected by the June 2020 full moon? How will Aries be affected by the June 2020 full moon? Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. Ooh, okay. All right. How will Aries be affected by the June 2020 full moon? How will Aries be affected by the June 2020 full moon? How will Aries be affected by the June 2020 full moon? Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. So you have a strong Scorpio influence once again, and it comes in the way that you are learning things, your way that you're taking things in emotionally, meaning that you're not really going to have the desire to share your feelings with everyone. Scorpios kind of keep things to themselves. They see a lot of the grays within life, and they see a lot of the power within themselves. And so here, that's what you're going to be really understanding within you emotionally, and you're going to be pushing the boundaries. So people sit there and say, oh, Scorpios can be a bit wild. Well, they're expressing and expanding themselves, and that's what you're going to be doing, Aries, as you're moving forward. And as you do so, you are going to find that you claim the power that is you, meaning that a Scorpio, the smaller the Scorpio is, the deadlier the sting. So you're claiming the power that you have, almost in your deadliness of emotional truth and self. It's kind of like how you can sting and hit right at the heart of things. So that's going to be something that's important for you during this lunar cycle to be aware of, because you have this intensity to you that you need to own, okay, in order for it to start opening up new doors for you. The unexpected comes into play, and you become a student of the unexpected ways that you move forward on this earthly plane, and it leads you to the full moon in Aquarius, which says, show the world the real you. Balancing to show the world the real you. You might be balancing to find the real you yourself. You might sit there and think, well, this is the real me. And there's a part inside of you that's saying, oh, isn't? Am I moving forward the right way? Do I know what it is that I want? Am I being what other people expect of me? And has that become what I think is me instead of what actually is me? So here you're finding that balance, you're finding that understanding, and it moves you to resistance. I mean, it moves you to this sense that even if you are held back, and even if you were held back within this world, which, I mean, so many of us are in one way or another, there's a resistance. There's a sense that we still grow. We will still thrive, even if we're trying to be held down. And that's what the power of love does. The power of love makes it so that you can grow, even when it is overwhelming, even when you feel like you can't. And as you embrace this love, you embrace the duality of you, but you also embrace yourself, your passion, your power. And it moves you to the full moon in Libra, which says a win-win outcome is forecast. So as you claim your power, as you know your truth, as you don't apologize for simply being yourself, you will find that things become more balanced, things become more just, and you have a win-win outcome forecast. Acceptance guides you to love. As you accept yourself, as you accept the world around you, and it can be as you accept that sometimes, things happen without us having any control over it or being able to stop it. There is this sense of, peace and love coming in, because there's this acceptance of having power over our own worlds. And it can be that you are finding that power again for some who have lost it. Aries, you are claiming that truth. You are claiming your heart. And as you do so, it moves you to the full moon in Leo. Don't let pride get in your way of your transformation. Don't sit there and say, oh, well, I have to do this because I said I was going to do it. If it's not right for you, let it go. Let yourself transform. And let yourself be at times what you're a little bit afraid of, going after what you're a little bit afraid of. Because you're going to see that even though you might not want to, it is a beautiful truth for you. It is a beautiful power for you. This leads you to protection. You are protected by the earth, by what you desire. You are also going to find that as you move forward towards June, you feel more and more protected within yourself. You feel as if you're claiming your truth and your purpose, and you are claiming your throne. And as you do so, it moves you to the full moon in Scorpio, which says time to release negativity. It is. It's time to release the negativity and become the student of your heart. Become the student of what your soul wants. You'll really see that around the new moon on the 21st of July. As you're doing all this work, as you're really, focusing on you, you'll see this kind of like shift of energy, shift of self, and there's this release of negativity that has been built up in you for so long. And you can be working on it right now, as we speak. And so here, with the full moon in Aquarius, you show the world the real you, and you don't let pride get in the way. It's kind of like it, like it, don't like it, don't like it, but I'm not changing myself for anybody else. It's kind of like been there, done that, got the t-shirt, and I don't wear it anymore. So it's like, let's move forward. And that's what you have. You have focus. You have focus on your transformation, focus on yourself. And that's what you're embracing when you are embracing your soul's mate during this time. When you are embracing this empress, this balance to your energy as the emperor. And as you are focused, you are transformed. And as you claim this love, as you claim this passion within your life, you are transformed. And it leads you to the waxing moon. The energy is gaining momentum while you're waiting for the harvest to come, while you're waiting for the seeds to bear fruit, or while you're waiting for the fruit to become ripe. You are seeing that this energy is gaining momentum, that there is a power around you that is calling you forward. And you can't stop it even if you want to. I mean, you can ignore it, but you're going to feel off if you do. This leads you to a win-win outcome being forecast as you show the world the true you, as you embrace who you truly are and who you truly want to be. This leads you to the subconscious message of this moon, which is the 10 of Earth. This is prosperity that lasts for generations. This is prosperity, wealth, abundance, what you value as much as money coming in. This is a sense of power and of, desire and, beauty leading you forward. And as you embrace this, okay, as you embrace an end of a cycle and a beginning of a new cycle, a beginning of a new power, and an acceptance of all the wisdom and all the lessons that you have learned, it leads you to the subconscious message of boundaries, having clear and understood boundaries within your life, which leads you, this is the subconscious message of lunar, and so is this, to then the subconscious message of lunar of the full moon in Taurus. Your dreams need a practical plan. Your dreams need the boundaries. Your dreams need, a consistency and a pattern and a stability for you to be able to move forward towards what you want, to have your life blessed with wealth and prosperity. And you know this subconsciously, and you're pulled towards it subconsciously. All right, Aries, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May you have a blessed moon. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe.